The first Sonic the Hedgehog movie was quite a bit of fun, delightful, but not perfect, and honestly had quite a bit of issues. But I said, hey, let's give this thing a sequel. Let's see if they can really fix all those, and they almost did, making Sonic the Hedgehog 2 not just one of the best video game movies of all time, which I know that's not really a high bar to go to, but it is an almost perfect Sonic the Hedgehog film. And I got a lot of exciting thoughts on this one. What's going on, buddy? Welcome back to a brand new movie review. Today we're going to be discussing Sonic the Hedgehog 2, when the maniac Dr. Robotnik returns to Earth with a new ally, Knuckles the Echidna. Sonic and his new friend Tails is all that stands in their way. This is once again directed by Jeff Fowler, who had done the original Sonic the Hedgehog film, which I thought was delightful and charming. Definitely wasn't everything for me, but even then, and what I will say is that I thought there was enough potential there to give us a great sequel. And honestly, I would say Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a really good sequel that almost perfects the entire video game mold of what a video game movie should be, especially when it comes down to Sonic the Hedgehog. And one of the things for me that I was looking forward to the most was seeing all the characters, not just Sonic, but Tails and Knuckles, especially since Knuckles is one of my favorite characters from the games from when I was younger. I definitely have a lot to say about this movie, but of course what I do want to hear is your guys' thoughts. Did you guys see this movie yet? I know in the UK and other territories it's already out. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Leave that comment, hit that like and subscribe button, and as well, let's just keep having fun talking some film. Usually with movie reviews, I like to actually start with the best aspects of the movie, but I think for this one, since I am discussing on why Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is almost a perfect film, I want to discuss the things that held this movie back, because at 2 hours and 2 minutes there's some things that could have held the pacing up a bit, and I do feel like those are the things that really much, the great things about this movie are the great aspects of it. But there are things that I feel like will still not win over people when it comes down to Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'm not even just saying like about Sonic purists or anyone who is very much into the lore of Sonic. I'm just talking about the general movie-going audience. One of the biggest criticisms of the first movie was that there was really only Sonic and Dr. Robotnik. There was no Tails or Knuckles, but one of the things about that is that they focus so much on the human element and the other human characters. This is a big trend that we see in so many films where a cartoon character or a video game character, or whatever you want to say, someone that is a CGI character, say, whether it's the Smurfs movie, Sonic, or many others, they always focus on the human characters. I think one of the biggest problems with the Tom and Jerry movie was that instance. In this first Sonic movie, while it did have some charming elements to it, especially James Marsden's character, there was a lot of elements in there that really did not hold up overall and altogether. And in here, the human element does hold the film back once again. It's definitely not as prevalent as the original one, and it really much is more of a Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles film than just a Sonic and his human companion buddy cop film. And that is the good aspect of it, which I'll, again, express more on that. But when the humans do have their interactions in here, and they do explore those, it halts the pacing like a damn train hitting a wall, or even trying to go through a tunnel, and it just can't go through. It's just stuck until it has to keep going back and back and forth, and then it finally gets back to Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and you're like, okay, pacing's flowing once again on exactly what I wanted to see. There are countless scenes in here that I think with just a rewrite, or even just snipping it out, it wouldn't have changed anything, because the human characters are in here are already as paper thin as possible. And for me, I just didn't feel like they needed to be in this movie whatsoever. Like, for the scenes that they're in where Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails and all of them are conjoining, those make sense. It's the other ones where the characters have nothing in there and it's just for an uninspired gag or joke that, again, halted the pacing so much. There's so many scenes like that, especially there's one where two human characters must break out our CGI characters out of this prison, I would say. It's not even a prison, and it probably runs for about 8 to 10 minutes, and it feels way longer than that. Those are the elements that, again, hurt the film, because what that equivalates to is hurting the smooth, fast pacing that you did have. And of course, the beginning of this movie feels a lot more in the tone of the first Sonic, where it's a lot more hijinks and stuff like that, instead of the action like the trailers are selling us on. But man, this is where I diverge right to my pros. And that starts with the middle all the way up to the third act. And even to the end credit scene, which Sonic fans are going to love. I got to take my cousin's kid to this film. and he flipped out from the middle point all the way up to the ending. The first half I could see that he wasn't really like feeling the entire film overall, but that middle part to the third act, it's excellent. Again, certain things in there I would have again taken out because of the human element, but man, everything with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, it's perfection. Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, amazing once again. Even if a couple of his jokes are a bit cringe-inducing, besides that, it just fits for the character that he had in the first one, and I can't express enough how awesome it was to see Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles on the big screen. As someone who grew up playing Sonic Heroes for the GameCube and adored that game to pieces and always played as them, I flipped out during multiple things, especially in the third act. The last 30 minutes, that entire action set piece is amazing, and the trailers did such a good job at hiding a lot of the elements in there, and fans of Sonic, or just people in general who understand the basic knowledge of Sonic, are going to get some goosebumps during one earth-shattering scene that's just amazing. And then you get to the end credit scene, which again leaves you on a high note to what they could possibly be setting up for another Sonic film that's already been announced. But let's talk about Knuckles first. This is one of the new additions to the film. Idris Elba does such a good job voicing him that, in fact, a lot of time when you get voice actors or in general actors to portray a CGI character, sometimes, they don't mesh in or mold in. Honestly, I completely forgot it was Idris Elba voicing him. And the voice just fits so well, and especially the writing for the way that they wrote Knuckles fits in there, and especially the relationship that he kind of has with Dr. Robotnik throughout this is this nice little conglomerate that they really much bicker and banter, but the way that they interact was a lot of fun. Then you have our other team, Sonic and Tails themselves, which their relationship works, and it goes to the entire theme of what the first Sonic film had and even this one, and that is family. And I know that's very on the nose, especially with Fast and the Furious and kind of cringe-inducing to some people, but it is true. And I think for young ones, they are going to love that, and it's really going to make a whole mold in there and kind of understanding and respecting others around you. But seriously, Sonic and Tails are just too, they interact and they click just like that once they meet, and I couldn't get enough. Plus the visual effects for them was stunning. Every time a bit that they got battle damage, or they were running through the dirt or water or mud got splattered on them, the visual effects on all their fur and everything was really great, and I was so surprised by the attention to detail in those little bit of scenes. And certain things that you've probably seen in the trailer, whether it's the snow scene of them going down the hill, that scene's awesome. The airplane scene between Sonic and Tails is great. I mean, that is probably one of my favorite sequences in the entire film. And any of the sequences that you've seen between Sonic and Knuckles, there's so much more to that that's just so damn fun. And that's what I really think Jeff Fowler did such a good job this time around, was making such a fluid, fun vibe that anytime our three main characters are on screen, you can't get enough of them. You want to go back to them. The action set pieces, there's a lot more in this movie, are way better than the first one, and are probably some of the best action set pieces that we've gotten in a video game movie, taken sometimes straight out of the video games and placed right in here, or using your imagination from what you wish you would have seen in the video games. They do a great job building that all, showing Knuckles' powers, showing Tails' powers, showing Sonic powers, and just showing it all mold together. As well, one of the things that I was quite surprised by was the lore of Sonic's world and how they really dove into that with Long Claw and certain other things in there, especially with the Chaos Emeralds. Of course, the Master one that they're kind of going after in this entire film. There's such intriguing mythology in that they really dive into, especially within Knuckles' past, that I'm actually excited to see what Paramount Plus's Knuckles series is going to have, because now I want to interact and visit that series and see how that story goes. Pretty much, Sonic 2 is everything a Sonic fan wants and more. An almost perfect video game movie that will have you laughing, smiling, and even getting goosebumps within the final action scene. I love Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic. They are perfect. Jim Carrey is a great Dr. Robotnik, even if some of his lines are a little bit cringe. I just wish they would really slow down the roll on the human characters. We do not come to these movies for them. I get there's probably fans of them, and I love James Marsden. He's good in the role. But I just feel like it drags the pacing so down, and this movie is, if I'm looking at it from just the film critic perspective, at 2 hours and 2 minutes, way too long. You could take 20 minutes out of this movie, and it wouldn't have changed a damn thing. But even with that said, there's so much fun to be had. Kids are going to like this, families are going to like this, and if you love Sonic the Hedgehog, I'd be shocked if you didn't like this movie. So with all that said, I'm going to give Sonic 2 a B+. So much fun with this one, and it is a way better sequel than the first. If it's not just for its pacing, I wish it would have just fixed that up, tightened it up, and this probably would have been, honestly, my favorite video game movie of all time. So that's where I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Thank you so much again for watching this. You guys are really all the best. I cannot wait to hear your guys' thoughts on Sonic Movie 2. So make sure again to hit that like and subscribe button, comment down below your guys' thoughts. Head on over to Sandwich on Films on how to see films early. And of course, it's a big thank you to all of you guys. And until next time, stay classy.